Today, we bridge the gap between high-level engineering and kernel-level execution by mastering terminal primitives. Linux is more than an operating system. For software engineers, it's the environment where code is compiled, tested, deployed, monitored, and maintained. Yet many developers spend years writing code while barely scratching the surface of the terminal. One of the biggest differences between junior and senior developers is how they interact with the command line. Junior developers often use the terminal primarily for basic file navigation. They move between directories, create files, and run a few commands they memorized from tutorials. The terminal acts as a simple file explorer with extra steps. Senior engineers, however, treat the terminal as a complete development environment. Instead of navigating manually through repetitive tasks, they automate workflows, manipulate data streams, monitor system resources, and orchestrate entire development pipelines directly from the shell. This shift changes everything. The command line stops being a place where commands are typed individually and becomes a programmable execution engine capable of processing data, controlling applications, and automating complex workflows. To understand this transformation, we need to look beyond file navigation and examine how Linux actually moves information between programs. Every Linux process communicates through three standard streams: standard input, known as stdin, standard output, known as stdout, and standard error, known as stdrr. These streams form the foundation of how terminal applications communicate with one another. Once developers understand this model, they unlock one of Linux's most powerful capabilities: piping. A pipe takes the output from one command and feeds it directly into another command. Instead of running isolated commands, you create processing chains. For example, a command can generate data, another can filter it, and a third can transform it. This creates workflows that behave like miniature programs without writing a single line of traditional code. Redirection extends this concept even further. The greater than symbol writes output into files. Double greater than appends output. The less than symbol provides file content as input. Together, piping and redirection form the backbone of shell automation. As workflows become more sophisticated, tools like t and xargs become essential. The t command allows output to continue through a pipeline while simultaneously saving a copy to a file. This is extremely useful for debugging automation pipelines or preserving logs during processing. The xargs command takes incoming data and converts it into command arguments. This enables large-scale batch operations, parallel processing, and multi-step automation workflows that would otherwise require custom scripting. Once developers become comfortable manipulating streams, the next challenge is understanding the data itself. This is where pattern recognition tools enter the picture. The first essential tool is grep. Modern grep allows developers to search massive codebases, log files, configuration directories, and system outputs in seconds. Regular expressions make grep even more powerful. You can locate function definitions, API routes, error messages, stack traces, or specific coding patterns across thousands of files. For codebase refactoring and text transformation, sed becomes indispensable. Sed performs stream editing directly from the command line. You can rename variables, modify configuration values, update version numbers, and transform text automatically without opening an editor. For structured text processing, awk provides even greater flexibility. Awk treats data as columns and fields, allowing engineers to perform calculations, filtering, reporting, and transformations directly from terminal output. These tools become especially valuable when analyzing large-scale logs. Imagine processing millions of log entries generated by production systems. Instead of manually searching through files, developers can combine grep, sed, and awk to isolate specific exceptions, identify latency spikes, locate memory issues, or uncover performance bottlenecks in real time. This ability to extract meaningful information from massive datasets is one of the defining skills of experienced Linux users. But understanding logs is only part of the story. The next step is connecting that information to the processes and resources generating it. Linux provides several powerful process monitoring tools. Top offers a live view of CPU usage, memory consumption, and active processes. HTOP improves the experience with a more interactive and visual interface. PS provides detailed snapshots of running processes that can be filtered and analyzed programmatically. These tools help engineers diagnose memory leaks, runaway CPU usage, application bottlenecks, and resource exhaustion. They also reveal another important issue: zombie processes. A zombie process has completed execution but remains in the process table because its parent process has not collected its exit status. While individual zombies consume little memory, large numbers of them can indicate deeper problems in application lifecycle management. Managing processes effectively also requires understanding Linux signals. Signals provide a mechanism for communication between processes. SIGTERM is typically used to request a graceful shutdown. Applications receiving SIGTERM can finish current tasks, release resources, save state, and exit cleanly. SIGKILL is more aggressive. It immediately terminates a process without allowing cleanup. Because of this, SIGKILL is generally considered a last resort. Understanding signal hierarchy is critical for maintaining stable systems, especially in cloud-native environments where applications frequently start, stop, and restart automatically. Once developers can manage individual processes effectively, attention shifts toward managing the entire development environment. Environment variables play a major role here. Variables such as path, home, Java_home, node_env, and database_URL control application behavior and runtime configuration. Proper use of environment variables improves portability, security, and deployment consistency. Aliases provide another productivity boost. Frequently used commands can be shortened into custom shortcuts. A single alias can replace long command sequences and dramatically increase terminal efficiency. These customizations transform the shell into a personalized engineering workspace optimized for speed and consistency. To scale productivity even further, shell scripting becomes essential. Shell scripts automate repetitive development tasks such as testing, linting, building, packaging, deployment preparation, and environment setup. Many local CI/CD workflows begin as simple shell scripts before evolving into fully automated pipelines. Even basic scripting can save hundreds of hours over the course of a development career. As developers continue building these skills, they begin to recognize a larger pattern. The same Linux primitives used locally power modern cloud infrastructure. Containers, Kubernetes clusters, CI/CD systems, monitoring platforms, and deployment pipelines all rely on the same foundational concepts: processes, signals, streams, file systems, permissions, and automation. Containerized development provides an excellent example. Linux control groups, commonly known as C groups, enforce resource limits on containers. These limits prevent applications from consuming excessive CPU or memory resources. Tools like Docker stats provide real-time visibility into container resource consumption. Monitoring these metrics is critical because exceeding memory limits can trigger out-of-memory, or OOM, kills that abruptly terminate applications in production. As container technologies evolve, developers also encounter alternatives to Docker. One of the most significant is Podman. Docker uses a centralized daemon architecture. The Docker daemon manages container lifecycle operations and typically requires elevated privileges. Podman follows a daemonless design. Each container runs directly under the user account responsible for launching it. This rootless execution model reduces attack surface and improves local development security. The architectural differences influence both security and performance. Docker's daemon introduces an additional management layer that simplifies orchestration but can increase complexity and resource usage. Podman's lightweight approach often provides a more direct execution model while maintaining compatibility with many container workflows. In development environments, Podman pods can offer lower overhead for certain workloads while still supporting modern container practices. Ultimately, the choice depends on project requirements, security priorities, and deployment targets. What remains constant is the importance of Linux fundamentals. Whether you're writing code, debugging production incidents, analyzing logs, deploying containers, or managing cloud infrastructure, the same core terminal skills appear repeatedly. Pipes, streams, processes, signals, text processing, automation. These are not merely commands to memorize. They are the building blocks of modern software engineering. Mastering them transforms the terminal from a black box into one of the most powerful tools in a developer's toolkit. And once that transformation happens, Linux stops being something you use. It becomes something you command. If you found this guide valuable, subscribe for more software engineering, Linux, DevOps, cloud, and programming deep dives. Leave a comment with the Linux command you use most often, and share this video with fellow developers looking to level up their terminal skills.